And the next quarterfinal, the last of the Cup quarterfinals coming up now. And it is Fiji up against the USA. And Fiji, a star-studded team, captained by number 7, Bulunasau. Ravovo has been in great form. So too has Rawatha. They're the finishers. And for the United States, Barrett, he's making the most of his opportunities, being back in action after missing the first 2 tournaments of this current series. And they've got speedsters out wide. You know them. Isles and Baker in particular. And Fiji, no matter where they travel around the world, they have wonderful support. And the United States getting through to the Cup quarterfinals. They beat Samoa 24-20, lost to England 19-5, and then beat France 29-21. And Fiji, 3 matches, 3 wins on day 1. Hammered Japan 45-7, hammered Wales 33-7, and they beat Argentina 31 points to 10. Craig Joubert, 123rd match in 7's. He's controlled a Rugby World Cup final. That was in New Zealand in 2011. He had I think a 10-year break from refereeing on the 7's circuit, and he's going to mix 15s and 7s this year as he tries to earn a spot as a referee in Rio at the Olympics. Greg Clark in the chair alongside me, Christian Cullen, sideline Carl Tanana. Knocked on by the USA. What about these conditions, Carl?
Oh, beautiful conditions at the moment. There is quite a stiff breeze coming from left to right on your screen, but the thing for me, this United States team, they have to be physical against Fiji. Danny Barrett needs to be at his abrasive best.
Fiji has won 4 of the last 5 matches against the United States. The Americans' last win was in Port Elizabeth in 2014. So Fiji playing in their alternate strip. The dark jerseys. Ravovo getting it across to his captain, Kulinasau. And Rawatha out wide. Taking some stopping. Now it's Tuwai. Katonambao. Olivoro. And here is Ravovo. Kulinasau. Olivoro. They're just probing at the moment, and good defence by the USA. They're marking up. Lofted pass. Fiji. Oh, wonderful step. And he's got some pace as well. Barrett coming across and reining in Rawatha. So that was terrific work by Barrett. Now, Isles looking for some space over on the far side. Usually when you see a Fijian in space, it's shut the gate, but on that occasion, it was terrific scrambling from the USA. And now, oh, what about the tackle coming in on Madison Hughes?
Clear release.
No clear release, and so it's the USA slowing things down a bit now.
Yeah, well, great start by both sides, really. Fiji making the break. Barrett in defence, great with that hit there. Maybe a little high. But you're right, Carl. USA have to stand up in defence physically. Get this Fijian side and try and stop their offloads.
Well, Fiji have headed their own way the first 3 games on day 1. They haven't really been tested, but this USA team, if they're on form and they're able to hold possession, they're going to be a threat in this game for sure.
Falau Niua, the 31-year-old. In jersey 7 for the USA, throwing in, tapped down by Test. Hughes. Palamo played in the Rugby World Cup 2015 in England. Now a full-time 7's player. Good. Oh, the counter-ruck is good though from Fiji. And now Ravovo. And again, good cover by the United States. But it's still there for Kulinasau. Across now to Pio Tuwai. Good step by the big man. A little bit of a shimmy as well. Got up and went again. And offloads Olivoro. Across now. Rawatha. Oh, good counter-rucking by the USA. Isles got in there and got his hands on the pill. And it's there again for the USA. And now Madison Hughes. Olivero makes the tackle. He throws it back on the inside. And it's been claimed by Fiji. Oh, no, just a little knock-on in there by Fiji. Might have been Olivero.
I like to look at this USA side on defence, especially, Carl. They're sticking together, aren't they? Working hard. We know Fiji dangerous on attack, but USA standing up to it at the moment.
It's a game of the highest quality at the moment. Both teams on attack and defence doing some outstanding work. I like the way they're using Palamo, the USA, in midfield. He's the one who's going to be taking the ball up, but they've got to get their support players there quickly because Fiji are very good at the breakdown.
Great opportunity here for the Americans as Madison Hughes, the man from Dartmouth University, puts it in, and it's there for the Americans. Olamo. There's the jet shoes of Carlin Isles! We've seen so much of that since he made his debut a couple of seasons ago. Carlin Isles, been around since the Gold Coast 2012. And that's his fourth for the weekend.
Well, Carlin Isles, he didn't get much of a pass here, but look at that, he had to stop. And then he just used his gas, Carl, around two Fijian boys. You can't stop that. That's just impossible.
I'll tell you, I haven't seen someone do Luatha like that on the outside ever. Carlin Isles, I was wondering why he was starting in front of Perry Baker, and he answers my question right there. Out and out gas.
Madison Hughes. It's out to the right, so it is. The United States leading Fiji 5-0. And Carlin Isles very quickly became a 7's superstar. Already second on the all-time try-scoring list for the USA. Speed to burn.
Technical substitution by Fiji coach Ben Ryan, getting Peel two-way off the field.
So he clearly wants a better work rate from his big men. And there's a poor kick-off by the United States in front of the kicker. No excuse for that.
No, especially after you scored a nice try. You want to put Fiji under pressure again and just giving possession away too easily.
Looking for their first try. And we're already into the last minute of the first half. Katonumbao. Robobo spotted an opening, put on some footwork. Oh, and that just comes from pressure. So often after a break like that, the Fijians will back up and finish the job, but clearly a little rattled at the moment by this American team.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? I mean, yesterday you've seen every pass went to hand, didn't it, with Fiji and their offloads. And today, just under a bit of pressure, USA defensively have been pretty good.
Into touch it goes from Nioa. So there is time for the line-out.
Well, it's the first time anyone's held possession for a sustained period of play against this Fijian team. They're having to make a lot of tackles too, but don't count them out because this American team at the moment, there's a lot of hands on hips, there's a lot of deep breathing. So it's about execution.
Nioa eventually getting it in, and Zach Test. Advantage being played. Test.
Advantage over.
There's another high shot there as well. So here's a great opportunity for the USA to put on more points before the break. Running with it now is Swearin. Gunatani comes to him and drags him down. But it's still there for the United States. And Hughes to Isles. Oh, a big collision there. One-on-one.
Ball is out.
Tamalale. Now this is the big number 4, Katonumbao. Katonumbao over the 22. And right on a stroke of half-time, Asaki Katonumbao scores the try. but I think the damage was done by upper side Domalai with that big tackle a little earlier on.
Yeah, it was one of a massive tackle here. Thought Oz was going to get over, but bang, he gets hit here. They get the turnover. And Kartonabel, I thought he was going to score the try backwards. Look at this, and he turns around and he's free. Away he goes.
I'll just show him what they can do, Fiji. After the half-time hooter goes Kartonabel. You just can't sleep on them.
And there is the extra two. So after all that hard work by the USA, it's the Fijian fans celebrating at half-time in Wellington. Fiji leading 7 points to 5. But don't go anywhere. What a crackerjack second half we're going to have.
He's got the plan. You execute. It's unfortunate, but then we always said they were going to score. We always knew they were going to score. The important thing is we stay true to task. What we talked about now, we implement here. That's what you've done in this first half. You're frustrating them. You're picking up their blood.
Relax and let the ball do its work. It's important to you. Talked about it in Pacific Harbour. We see our shape, right? That's what we're doing right now. We see our shape, we let them all that shape in front of us, and then when they come those loose, drop tackle, we go for the ball. Let's go. Let's go. Commit to another line. 1, 2, 3.
So the USA up against Fiji, and nothing in it at halftime really. It's 2.7 to 5. Fiji over the United States. Mike Friday, English-born coach of the USA, asking his players just to stick to the structures we spoke about in the dressing room. And Ben Ryan, the English-born coach of Fiji, just asking his players to settle down and let the ball do the work.
Yeah, you heard it there, didn't you? Mike Friday saying you're frustrating them, keep to your structures, you got the plan. And that seems to be what's happening at the moment. Fiji are frustrated. This is a pretty enthralling second half coming up here.
Well, Fiji have been competing at the Olympic Games since 1956, and they still haven't won a medal of any colour. A lot of people saying that that will change in Rio. But as you can see, if you put pressure on the Fijians, they're not used to it, and sometimes you can force the mistakes. So Fiji kicking off, and a good take by Matai Leuta, who's out there for the United States. That came off a Fijian hand. So advantage is over after the knock-on, and Leuta goes to ground. And there's that good work again by the Fijians at the breakdown. Domalai did well, and now it's back to Ravovo. Into midfield, Tabanatha, Rawatha. Giving it to Kartonabel, and that's a sloppy play. And, well, the United States had an opportunity to maybe counter, but they couldn't control the ball either.
You're right, but USA, I just feel they're just holding their defensive line great at the moment and frustrating this Fijian side. He'll be frustrated. Half-time talk, let the ball do the work.
Yeah, number 1, please.
What the USA are doing, Christian, is they're not allowing Fiji to get their offloads away, and that's where they really live, and that's where a lot of their attack comes from, as we see VITI coming on for Fiji. Perry Baker also coming on for the USA. Look out.
Ben Ryan, I mentioned yesterday that a couple in Fiji named their newborn child after him. He's become a national hero there. I don't know if you've had a child named after you, Christian, but you've had a pacer named after you.
A few kids.
And what about the break coming in now from Fiji? And that's what they can do. And this man is like a thief in the night, Jerry Tuwai. He doesn't need an invitation. He just turns up.
Yeah, individual brilliance here, wasn't it? The step, the acceleration, the breaking the tackle through the hole. But that's almost what Fiji did, didn't they? They needed that, didn't they, Carl? Some individual brilliance there.
It's such a luxury to be able to bring on guys such as Jerry Tuwai off the bench to come from a scrum, so it's very hard for the USA defence to get out of that scrum. He knew that Jerry Tuwai went to the right-hand side, stepped off his right foot. He knew there was going to be a hole there.
There's the extra 2 from Vitibo Rovovo. And Rovovo is the leading point scorer at the Wellington 7's. Leading point scorer for the whole series, Rovovo as well. So Fiji kicking off, 14 points to 5. The bounce is good. Goes back to the try scorer, Tuwai. Semi Kunatani now playing 15s for Toulouse. Hopefully we're going to see much more of him on the 7 circuit though, as he mixes his 15s career with his dream to go to Rio. And that's forward, so poor pass in the end by Fiji.
Just a little bit sloppy, wasn't it? This support guy on the outside didn't hold his depth, but this was a chance for the USA to get themselves back in the game. Regain possession here, get it out to their speedsters out wide.
The winners will play South Africa in the Cup semi-finals. The other semi-final will be a contest between New Zealand and England. Some terrific 7's rugby still to come. First of 2 stops down under this month. Well, in fact, next month is Sydney, first week of February. These teams head across the Tasman to the sold-out inaugural Sydney 7's. We're looking forward to that. The big guns of 7's in Sydney for the first time. Now Perry Baker. The switch of play. Good ball and all tackle from Kunatani on Liuta. Barry Malua thought he was away, but the referee had other ideas. Niua getting it to Baker, who offloads now to Ursberger. Baker got a good ball away. Niua back to Baker, being used more as a distributor rather than a finisher for the USA. And knocked on. Here we go. Fiji. Barry Malua got it out to Katonambao. Kulinasau looking for runners. He finds Kunatani. He pops it out the back door. The bounce is good for the captain, Kulinasau. And he offloads to Kunatani. Welcome back to quarterfinal 7's. Semi Kunatani.
Yeah, well, Kunatani gets a try, but the passes are starting to stick now, aren't they, Carl? The between the leg pass, the offloads, the bounces are going Fiji's way now. Just take a look at this. I think this is, between the legs. Just knowing where his support player is. Look at that. It's great to watch, isn't it?
We just can't give them an inch, can you, Fiji? They're just so brutal in punishing you. And Osea Kulinasau has been pretty quiet this tournament, to be fair. But when they need him, he stands up.
Well, he hasn't been needed. That's the good thing about this Fiji team. As the extra 2 comes in from the boot of Rovovo. 21 points to 5. It was said many times yesterday around this ground that when the Fijians are in this party mood, this entertaining 7's mood, people don't want the game to end. Pretty to watch. Now here is Baker, who hasn't had any room to move so far. And the USA has a high shot there.
Yep.
Very sloppy tackle.
High tackle, 12 black.
Brings the penalty. Zach Test, Baker, mover, shaker and finisher, but this time he has to throw it back on the inside.
Rex on black, wait! Clean out is good.
Clean out is good, and now Baker asked a question down the short side, but you might want to think about that next time. Hammered. Ursberger. Pinkelman. He's on debut, the 21-year-old from Colorado State Uni. wearing jersey 4.
Advantage.
Advantage for the United States. The kick.
Advantage over.
The advantage is over. Whanafangi. Fresh legs off the bench. Oh, and there's a loose carry there.
Advantage over.
Advantage is over. And the penalty goes against Fiji. So what can the United States do? Can they finish with a bit of a flourish? Liuta taken by Viramalua.
Yeah, ball is out.
Zach Test will back himself.
Roll away.
5 metres out.
Advantage.
Another penalty coming the way of the USA if they need it.
Find me, find me.
Baker got it out to Holder, and he stretches out. And that is the final save, but it's come too late for the United States. Looked good early on, trailed by 2 at half-time, but in the end they couldn't shut down the Fijians. But there's the try for Holder.
Yeah, Will Holder gets the final word for the USA, but Fiji showed their class, especially in the second half. USA just couldn't sustain that momentum into that second half, but Fiji, all class.
21 points to 12. Fiji over the United States. So Fiji will play South Africa in the Cup semi-finals. New Zealand will play England. That's all still ahead of us as we have a look at some of the stats now. Konatani came off the bench for this match, and you can see the work rate there. Ben Ryan sent him out to just settle things down and do the hard stuff, and he delivered for his coach. Now let's go to Carlton Ana.
Well, Sarah Glennisau, congratulations on the win, but geez, you had to work hard for that one.
America is a good side. They're in the top 4 in the series, and that speaks for itself. We know we are up for a game, so we told ourselves that we needed to be prepared and not look ahead, because America has got pace and power, but I'm glad that we came out on top.
You did some brilliant work at the breakdown, got a lot of turnovers there.
Yeah, we've always practiced in training. We know that 7's is growing bigger, and the battle is on the breakdowns. Top teams are very good at breakdowns like New Zealand and South Africa, and we had to work really hard in the breakdown to win ball back.
The second half, the support play really come out to the fore. Be able to get players in and around their ball and get a couple of nice tries.
Yeah, we're proud of what we're doing in the second half. We're coming out strongly like yesterday, but today we continued. We told the boys that we want to keep building on that, because when it comes to halftime, the decision goes whether you go up to the cup or you go down.
Now, see, you always enjoy some big crowd support here. It means a lot to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, what's very important is our 8th man. It's always good to hear people behind you cheering you on. It gives you a boost when you're playing.
Congratulations on the win. Good luck for the semi.
Thanks, Carl.
Yeah, for the first time in the tournament, Fiji having to work pretty hard for their victory, but getting there in the end against the United States. So the Cup semi-final lineup is complete. Just a good opportunity to catch up with our performance tracker. This talking about consistency, all-round performance, and look at Roscoe Speckman out in front now. He is having a brilliant tournament for South Africa. He's edged ahead from Dan Bibby, Semi Kunutani, who made such a great impact in the game that we've just seen.